Have you ever stopped long enough to notice the weight that lives inside the words you speak? Not just the sentences you form, but the energy behind them. The invisible force that shapes what you see, feel, and experience. Most people go through life unaware of this. They imagine their circumstances change because of luck, effort, or the decisions of others. They pray, they try harder, they move things around on the outside, yet deep inside they feel stuck, and they can't understand why. But if you pay attention to your own journey, you'll notice something profound. Your words often arrive before your reality. Your mouth seeds the very ground you later walk on. Jesus understood this better than anyone. He knew that the physical world is governed by spiritual laws, and one of the highest among them is the law of the spoken word. Before actions manifest, before blessings flow, before miracles break through the surface, there is always a word, a declaration, a vibration released into the unseen realm. God created the universe through words. Jesus healed the sick, cast out darkness, opened eyes, calmed storms, and resurrected the dead through words. His voice carried authority, life, and divine intention. But what many never realize is that Jesus also warned about the shadow side of this power, because the same mouth that blesses can imprison. The same voice that liberates can bind. The same word that builds can destroy. And if you never learn to master your own tongue, you become a captive of the very sound you release. Maybe that explains why you feel stuck in cycles that keep repeating. Maybe that's why your faith feels heavy, your progress slow, your dreams distant. Maybe the issue isn't what you're doing, but what you're saying. Today, you're going to understand what Jesus truly taught about the invisible power hidden inside your words. And if you stay with me until the end, we're going to pray together. But it won't be a casual prayer. It will be a moment of spiritual activation, a devotional alignment to open your mind, strengthen your faith, and release your voice into the purpose God designed for you. So don't leave. This could be the turning point heaven has been waiting for. Breathe, focus, listen deeply. Jesus never wasted a word. Every sentence he spoke was a living seed. When he said, "The words I speak to you are spirit and life," he wasn't being poetic. He was revealing a spiritual law. Every word carries spiritual force. Every phrase releases energy. Every sentence creates movement in the unseen realm. Think about how quickly a single word can alter an atmosphere. One person says, "I forgive you," and suddenly the entire room softens. Someone whispers, "You can do it," and strength rises inside you. Someone declares, "It's over," and the heart collapses. Words rearrange emotional climates instantly. They shift the internal weather of the soul. They build bridges or burn them. They open doors or close them. They push you forward or pull you backward. Jesus said, "A man is filled by the fruit of his mouth. He is satisfied by the harvest of his lips." In other words, you live off what you speak. What leaves your mouth returns to your life. This is why so many people pray for blessings while accidentally cursing themselves daily through their own speech. Words like, "I can't," "Nothing works out for me," "God forgot about me," "I'm a failure." These aren't just frustrations. They're decrees, and the spiritual world takes decrees seriously. Jesus wasn't joking when he taught that you will have what you say. Why? Because the universe was built to respond to the vibration of the spoken word. Every time you speak, you set something in motion. Every time you complain, you reinforce what you do not want. Every time you speak gratitude, you expand what is good. Every time you declare in faith, The spiritual realm moves. Your mouth is not simply an organ. It is a creative tool. And Jesus wanted you to understand this so deeply that you would never again become a prisoner of your own speech. Now pause and reflect. How have you been speaking about your life, your future, your family, your body, your goals, your identity, your faith? Do you speak like a builder or a destroyer, like a gardener or a critic, like someone who is planting or someone who is pulling out roots? Because every word is one of two things, a weapon or a seed. It will either wound or create. Jesus taught us to choose which side of creation we want to feed. He said that if you speak to a mountain and do not doubt, it will move. That statement is not about rocks or geography. It's a revelation about the connection between your mind, your heart, and your mouth. Jesus was saying, when your thoughts and your words align with faith, the impossible loses its authority. Faith is not just what you feel. Faith is what you declare when everything contradicts you. But here's the issue. Most people speak based on what they see, not what they believe. Jesus did the opposite. He didn't describe reality. He transformed it. He looked at death and said, "She is just sleeping." He looked at the storm and said, "Be still." He looked at empty baskets and said, "Give them something to eat." Where the world saw shortage, Jesus saw abundance. Where the world saw chaos, Jesus saw order. Where the world saw an ending, Jesus saw a beginning. Because his words did not reflect circumstances, they shaped them. And that is exactly what he wants to teach you. Stop using words only to describe what is happening. Start using them to declare what heaven has promised. Stop repeating what hurts. Start saying what heals. Your mouth is the steering wheel of your destiny. Speak defeat and your life goes backward. Speak faith and your life accelerates toward purpose. Jesus understood the invisible power of the Word because he was the Word made flesh. The Gospel of John begins with a revelation so deep, many never grasp it. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word means the living voice, the divine expression of God himself. Jesus is the full manifestation of divine intention spoken aloud. Everything God wanted to reveal, he revealed through Christ. And everything Jesus spoke carried the creative authority of the Father. When he said, "Get up," muscles obeyed. When he said, "Be clean," disease vanished. When he said, "Your sins are forgiven," shame dissolved. His words didn't suggest, they created. And here's what most people overlook. Jesus gave you this same spiritual power. He said, "The works I do, you will do also." Meaning the same creative force embedded in his words lives inside yours. But many people use this power against themselves. They use their voice to punish themselves, to shrink, to reinforce fear, to confirm doubt, to echo insecurity. And then they blame life for being difficult, not realizing life is simply following the instructions of their own speech. Your life is shaped by the vocabulary you nurture. Jesus wanted you to learn to speak like someone who sows, not someone who complains, because every word is a seed planted in the spiritual soil around you. And when you understand this, you begin guarding your mouth like a treasure chest. You realize your words are not small. They are spiritual portals, doorways between the unseen and the seen, between spirit and matter, between heaven's promise and earthly manifestation. Whoever learns to control the tongue learns to direct destiny. But controlling the tongue doesn't mean silence. It means choosing when to speak, what to speak, and why you speak. Jesus never used his words to harm. Even his corrections healed. Even his confrontations liberated, because his intention was always love. This is what separates the power of God from manipulation. Two people can speak the same sentence, but the spirit behind it changes everything. Jesus also knew the power of silence. When they tried to provoke him, he remained quiet. When Pilate questioned him, he spoke little. When they mocked him on the cross, he answered with forgiveness. His silence was not weakness, it was spiritual discipline. Sometimes the strongest declaration of faith is a quiet heart that refuses to give voice to fear. The enemy knows this truth. He knows he cannot take the Spirit out of you, but he can try to make you use your own mouth against yourself. He can irritate you until you declare things you don't want. He can discourage you until you speak in agreement with despair. But Jesus gave you the key. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Speak only what aligns with God. Do not negotiate with fear, do not entertain doubt, and do not give voice to discouragement. Every time you give sound to darkness, you strengthen it. But today is the day you take back control. From this moment on, begin guarding your words as if protecting a priceless treasure. Before you speak, pause. Ask yourself, is this building or breaking? Is this creating or destroying? Every statement you make is a spiritual instruction. The universe does not understand sarcasm, irony, or half-hearted speech. It responds to intention, vibration, and frequency. Each word you release either instructs heaven to act or gives permission for fear to dominate. And here's the beautiful truth. You are not condemned for your past speech. You are not trapped by the echoes of old words. You have been given the ability to start anew today. The first step is awareness. Begin to notice what comes out of your mouth when you're tired, frustrated, or anxious. Most of the time, people speak unconsciously. Complaints roll off the tongue like water down a stream. Doubts and fears are repeated like mantras. And then, wonder of wonders, life feels heavy. Life feels resistant. The world seems uncooperative. But this is not coincidence. This is the law of the spoken word in action. What you speak consistently shapes your reality. Your words are planting fields in the unseen, and the harvest always follows the sowing. Jesus called attention to this law in subtle yet profound ways. He never spoke words that contradicted faith, hope, and divine truth. Even when correcting, he did not criticize in despair, he healed in instruction. Even when confronting sin or deception, his words liberated, realigned, and empowered. This is why understanding the spirit behind words is more important than mastering grammar or eloquence. Words without the correct spirit are empty shells. Words with intention and alignment with God become vessels for miracles, healing, and transformation. Think about your life right now. Look at the conversations you have with yourself and others. Notice the language you've grown accustomed to. I'm tired, I can't, nothing works, it's hopeless. Each phrase silently builds a pattern in the spiritual realm. Each utterance sets a precedent for what the unseen world manifests. Now imagine shifting just a few key phrases. Replace I can't with I'm learning and I am growing. Replace nothing works with everything is cooperating for my highest good. Replace God forgot me with God is preparing something greater for me. Do you feel the subtle shift? These are not just positive affirmations, they are spiritual commands. Each is an instruction to heaven, an invitation for divine order to enter your circumstances. And it's not only about the words you speak when everything is fine. Your speech during trials, fatigue, and adversity defines the trajectory of your life. The tongue can reinforce despair or broadcast faith. It can strengthen fear or cultivate courage. It can condemn your spirit or unlock your destiny. Jesus understood this perfectly because he is the Word. The Gospel of John declares, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God." Every act he performed, every miracle he manifested, began with speech. He never waited for conditions to improve before speaking. He declared what was unseen into reality. Consider the blind man, the paralyzed man, the lepers, and the demon-possessed. Nothing in their visible circumstances changed before Jesus spoke. But as he declared life, healing, and restoration, the invisible realm obeyed. Muscle and bone, mind and spirit, heart and environment, all aligned to the vibration of his words. And here's the truth for you today. He gave you the same power. "The works that I do, you shall do also, and greater works than these shall you do." This is not a promise for someone else. This is an empowerment for your life. The same creative force that spoke worlds into existence, that healed the sick, that calmed storms, and that resurrected life now dwells in you. But here's the challenge most people never see. Many use this divine power to manifest limitation instead of liberation. They speak to punish, diminish, or reinforce fear, and then they wonder why life seems harsh, why relationships falter, why dreams feel distant. They are unknowingly obeying their own words. Jesus came to teach the opposite. He came to show how to speak life, alignment, and authority. He taught that every word is a seed, and every seed has potential to grow into fruit. The fruit can nourish life or poison it. The soil of your heart and mind is fertile. What you plant there, through words, will come forth. And when you realize this, you begin to cultivate your words carefully, thoughtfully, spiritually. You begin to recognize that your words are portals. They are bridges between the invisible and visible realms. They are gateways between promises and manifestation. They are channels through which heaven flows into the earth. Mastering your tongue is not about silence. It's about discernment. It's about choosing what to say, when to say it, and with what heart you speak. Jesus never spoke to wound. His words corrected but healed. His confrontations liberated. His declarations restored. His intent was always love. Even silence was a tool in his hands. When provoked, he often remained quiet. When accused, he responded with wisdom and restraint. Silence, when aligned with God, is also a form of speech. It can speak faith, power, and authority without uttering a sound. The enemy knows this. He cannot steal your spirit, but he can manipulate your mouth. He can tempt you to speak what you do not intend, to voice fear, doubt, and limitation. He can try to make your own words act against you, but Jesus gave you a principle. Let your yes be yes, and your no be no. Speak only what aligns with heaven. Do not engage with fear. Do not negotiate with doubt. Do not give voice to discouragement. Every time you voice despair, you empower it. Every time you declare faith, you mobilize heaven. Now, let's bring this into practice. Starting today, become aware of every word. Observe the phrases that leave your lips during stress, during waiting, during disappointment. Ask, is this building the kingdom or tearing it down? Words are instructions. Heaven responds. Spirit listens. The unseen obeys. And here is the liberating part. You can start anew at any moment. You can change the atmosphere of your mind, heart, relationships, and life simply by aligning your words with God. Begin with these subtle but powerful shifts. Replace "I can't" with I am learning, I am growing, and I am empowered to act. Replace I am tired with I am filled with strength beyond myself. Replace nothing works out with everything aligns for my good and God's glory. Replace I am forgotten with God is orchestrating a plan far greater than I can see. These phrases are not wishful thinking. They are commands to heaven, declarations that awaken spiritual forces and seeds of unseen transformation. And this is just the beginning. Words in alignment with faith don't just change circumstances. They reshape your soul, refine your character, and expand your influence in the spiritual and natural world. Your vocabulary is your kingdom blueprint. Your speech is your decree. Your words are your inheritance. Jesus showed the ultimate example. Even amidst betrayal, mockery, and suffering, his speech remained aligned with heaven. On the cross, while the world screamed despair, he said, "Father, forgive them." He spoke life while being surrounded by death. He demonstrated that a righteous word comes from purpose, not emotion, and he equips you to do the same. Continues in part 3, another 2,500 words. Just say, "Send part 3, and I will continue immediately." Do you want me to maintain the same devotional prayer tone for all parts? Or make part 3 more teaching focused? Você diz, continue. Oh, ChatGPT diz, perfect. Here's part 3 of the rewritten, expanded, original version in English. There are 2,500 words. Part 3, speaking life into existence. Now, pause for a moment and reflect. How many times have you allowed the noise of the world to dictate your words? How often have you responded in anger, pride, or exhaustion? How often have you remained silent when faith should have spoken? Here's the truth. It's not too late to change. You can still shift the sound of your life. You can transform your speech into a channel of miracles. God's grace is inexhaustible, and your voice can still be an instrument of His power. Today, you will learn to release the invisible power of the right words, the words guided by the Spirit. When spoken with intention, they carry authority, shift circumstances, and open doors that seemed locked. But before we move into practice, let's understand the spiritual mechanics of words. Every thought is an energy wave. Every word is a vibration. When your mind and mouth are aligned with God, your words resonate in the spiritual realm and bring forth manifestation. But when your words are fueled by fear, doubt, or complaint, they create an opposite vibration, which draws resistance and delays blessing. Think of a radio. If the dial is tuned to static, you hear nothing but noise. Tune it to a station broadcasting clearly, and suddenly, music flows. Your words are that dial. Tune them to faith, to hope, to truth, and you open yourself to a symphony of divine favor. Jesus understood this completely. His words were not random. Each statement was a seed, each phrase a command. He spoke the invisible into the visible. Kumi, the little girl, arise. Be cleansed. And the leper's body was restored. Your sins are forgiven, and spiritual chains broke. Every utterance carried life. And he tells us, the works that I do, you shall do also, and even greater works shall you do. That means you have the same power, the same spiritual authority to change your circumstances through aligned speech. The challenge is awareness and intention. Many unknowingly use this power to reinforce limitation. They speak complaints, doubts, and fears, and then wonder why life feels heavy. Jesus came to teach the opposite. He came to show that words are not just sounds. They are spiritual seeds with transformative power. Now let's talk about intentional word use. Examine your speech patterns. What do you say when you're frustrated? What words slip out when you're tired, anxious, or waiting? Do your daily words build faith or reinforce fear? Correct and reframe. Instead of "I can't," say "I am learning and I am growing." Instead of "nothing works," say "everything aligns for my good." Instead of "I'm exhausted," say "I am filled with supernatural strength." Declare what you want to see. Stop describing your struggles. Start declaring your victory. Speak faith over your health, relationships, finances, and dreams. Consistency. Words spoken once may create sparks, but repetition brings power. Speak life consistently. Faith verbalized is faith multiplied. Jesus demonstrated this principle constantly. He never waited for conditions to improve before speaking life. He declared healing in the presence of disease, restoration in the presence of loss, and hope in the presence of despair. His words were always rooted in divine truth, not human observation, and this is key. Your words are instructions to heaven. Heaven responds to your declarations. Spirit listens. The invisible realm obeys the vibrational frequency of your words. Consider this. Every time you complain, you are instructing the universe to reinforce limitation. Every time you speak hope, you are inviting divine intervention. Every time you declare life, you are unlocking unseen forces to work on your behalf. Even your silence has power. Silence aligned with God speaks trust, faith, and confidence. Silence rooted in fear communicates doubt and vulnerability. So what about the words you've already spoken? The ones that reinforced fear, doubt, or defeat? Here's the good news. You can replace them. Each time you notice words of limitation leaving your mouth, correct them with declarations of faith. Replace "I can't" with "I am capable through God's power." Replace "God has forgotten me" with "God is orchestrating my breakthrough." Replace "I'm stuck" with "I am moving forward with divine favor." These subtle shifts reprogram the spiritual atmosphere around you. Your mouth becomes a temple of faith, your words offerings to God, and your speech a channel for miracles. Jesus lived surrounded by words of doubt, hatred, and mockery, but he never allowed the sound of the world to dictate his own speech. Even on the cross, he spoke life. "Father, forgive them." While the world screamed despair, he declared forgiveness. While his body endured pain, his voice liberated. The words of a righteous person are not born from emotion, but from purpose. And your purpose, like his, is to align your speech with God's kingdom. Now, look at yourself for a moment. How many times have you allowed the opinions of others to shape your words? How many times have you responded with anger, fear, or resignation instead of faith? How often have you remained silent when your declaration could have changed the atmosphere? Here's a spiritual truth. It's never too late to change the way you speak. You can transform your words into a channel of miracles. Your voice can still carry authority, shift circumstances, and align reality with God's promises. The principle of alignment. God's creation always responds to alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and words are in agreement with heaven, your words carry power. When they are misaligned, driven by fear, complaint, or doubt, they create opposition. This is why Jesus always spoke from the truth, never from what appeared to be true. Think about it. When Jesus looked at a stormy sea, he did not speak fear. He said, "Peace, be still." When he saw a man paralyzed, he did not focus on the paralysis. He said, "Rise and walk." When he encountered death, he did not despair. He said, "She is not dead, but asleep." Words aligned with divine truth are seeds. Words aligned with fear are weeds. The same mouth that can speak destruction can also speak life. understanding the spiritual mechanism of words. Words are not just sounds, they are spiritual instructions. Heaven listens. The unseen world responds. Every word you release carries vibration. Complaints create resistance. Declarations of faith invite intervention. Gratitude expands blessings. Prophetic words move the spiritual realm. Your mouth is a creative tool. The key is to become aware of what you're saying and to deliberately choose words that build. Jesus came to show this principle. He said, "Whatever you ask in my name, believe that you have received it and it will be yours." His words were not passive. They were instructions for the spiritual realm to act. And he tells us that we have the same authority. Practical steps to activate the power of your words. Audit your speech. Write down the common phrases you say daily. Identify which ones reinforce limitation, fear, or despair. Notice patterns of complaint, self-doubt, or negative expectation. Reframe and declare replace "I can't" with "I am empowered to act with God's help." Replace "Nothing works for me" with "Everything in my life is aligning for my good." Replace "I'm exhausted" with "I am renewed and strengthened by the Spirit." Speak victory consistently. Repetition builds momentum in the spiritual realm. Declare the life, health, restoration, and abundance you desire daily. Guard your silence. Silence can be just as powerful as speech. Silent faith communicates trust, while fearful silence communicates doubt. Every word is a seed. Your words are seeds planted in the spiritual realm. Some seeds grow into blessings, some into barriers. Jesus never spoke without intention. Every word was deliberate. He said, "The words I speak are spirit and life." Your words, too, carry the same potential when aligned with truth and faith. Consider the subtle power of phrases. Saying, "I forgive you" can completely change the atmosphere. Hearing, "You can do this" can fill the body with energy. Declaring, "It is finished" can release freedom over a situation. And the opposite is true. Saying, "I'm a failure" reinforces defeat. Complaining, "Nothing ever works" strengthens limitation. Declaring, "I give up" opens doors to despair. The spiritual realm listens not to volume, but to vibration. Your words are instructions. Heaven responds according to the command implicit in your speech. Your mouth as a spiritual altar. The Bible tells us death and life are in the power of the tongue. Your mouth is an altar where you either offer life or release destruction. Jesus demonstrated this principle constantly. On the cross, he spoke forgiveness. To the sick, he spoke healing. To the paralyzed, he spoke motion. To the dead, he spoke life. Even when crucified, Jesus' voice remained aligned with heaven. His words carried authority, not despair. And that same authority is available to you. Transforming your vocabulary to align your life with God's will, you must change the language you habitually use. Replace "I can't" with "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Replace "God has forgotten me" with "God is orchestrating my breakthrough." Replace "I'm stuck" with "I am moving forward in divine timing and favor." Every correction is a spiritual realignment. Every declaration is a spiritual decree. Each word becomes a seed planted in the invisible, waiting to bear fruit in the visible. Now let's go deeper. You already understand that words carry power. But there is another layer many overlook. Silence. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is a spiritual statement. Just as speech instructs heaven, silence communicates intention. Jesus knew this principle perfectly. He did not speak in every situation. He knew when to remain quiet. When Pilate questioned him, he remained silent. When the crowd mocked him, he did not retaliate verbally. On the cross, Surrounded by agony, his words were deliberate, focused on purpose and forgiveness. Silence, when aligned with faith, becomes a powerful declaration. It can convey trust, patience, and authority. But silence born of fear, doubt, or resentment communicates the opposite. The intention behind every word. Everything you speak or withhold carries energy. Every word of silence sends a frequency into the universe. Jesus' words were always intentional. They carried his purpose. And this is why the same mouth can create miracles or release curses. The difference lies in alignment and intention. Here's a key truth. The spiritual realm responds to what your heart believes and your mouth declares. Your tongue is a transmitter, your mind is a programmer, and your heart is the source of your signal. If these three are in harmony, your words become unstoppable forces for life and transformation. Understanding the mechanics of creation through words. Let's break this down step by step. Thoughts generate energy. Every belief you hold releases spiritual energy. Words channel energy. When you speak, you give shape and direction to that energy. Faith activates energy. The spirit within confirms the spoken word and moves on your behalf. Jesus understood this completely. He didn't speak from observation. He spoke from spiritual truth, from his knowledge of God's will, and from his alignment with divine timing. When he said, "Be clean," a disease disappeared. When he said, "Rise," the paralyzed walked. When he said, "Your sins are forgiven," lives were restored. Notice something crucial. Words alone do not carry random magic. They carry purposeful spiritual authority. And this authority is available to you today when your words align with God's will. The danger of words spoken in fear. Many people underestimate the danger of careless speech. Every time you speak in fear, doubt, or anger, you are unconsciously planting seeds of limitation. Saying, "I'll never get ahead," reinforces failure. Saying, "I can't forgive," sustains bitterness. Saying, "It's too late," obstructs opportunities. The universe and the spiritual realm interpret your words as instructions. They do not judge emotion. They respond to frequency. Creating a new vocabulary transformation begins by choosing new words. Every declaration of faith is a spiritual command. Every positive phrase plants seeds in the invisible realm that will manifest in the visible. Here's how to begin. Start small. Replace one negative phrase daily with a declaration of faith. Observe the change. Notice how your feelings, energy, and environment shift. Expand consistently. Begin declaring God's promises aloud daily. Some examples. Replace "I'm tired of this struggle" with "I am rising above every challenge by God's power." Replace "Nothing ever works for me" with "Everything in my life is cooperating for my good." Replace "I feel weak" with "I am strengthened with God's Spirit." These are not mere affirmations, they are spiritual decrees. Each spoken word resonates in the unseen realm, prompting divine response. Your mouth as a divine instrument. Consider this. Your mouth is more than a tool for communication. It is a divine instrument capable of releasing blessings, healing emotional wounds, shifting circumstances, changing relationships, transforming environments. When Jesus spoke, mountains moved, not literal mountains only, but spiritual obstacles. Your words, too, can move the mountains in your life when spoken in faith. This is why he said, "Whoever believes in me will do the works I do, and even greater works than these." He was passing on the authority of intentional speech to all who follow him. The role of prayer in word activation prayers are powerful because they intentionally combine faith with spoken words. But many people pray without understanding the full mechanics of their own speech. To maximize the power of prayer, speak with clarity. Declare exactly what you want aligned with God's will. Speak with faith. Believe in your words, not just repeat them. Speak with gratitude. A thankful heart magnifies the effect of your declarations. Speak consistently. Regularity in spiritual speech strengthens alignment. Your prayers are not just requests. They are instructions to heaven. Every word has the potential to open portals, heal wounds, or shift realities. The power of silence in prayer. Even when you are silent, your heart can declare truths that words cannot fully express. Jesus taught us that. Silence expresses trust. Silence reveals patience. Silence allows the Spirit to work. When you combine silence with intentional speech, you create a balanced spiritual communication that aligns with God's will. Now that we understand the power of words and the hidden strength of silence, it's time to put this into practical action. Words are not just sounds. They are vehicles of spiritual energy. What you declare today sets the trajectory of tomorrow. Words as spiritual seeds. Every word you speak is like a seed planted in the invisible realm. Words of doubt plant limitations. Words of fear plant obstacles. Words of faith plant possibilities. Words of love plant restoration. Jesus consistently taught this principle. When he addressed storms, disease, or death, he did not ask permission. He decreed what was. The seeds of his words were not passive. They were active, carrying life, healing, and restoration. You too have this power. The words you speak can either confine you to past pain or propel you toward your God-given purpose, the connection between mind, heart, and mouth. It is not enough to speak words mechanically. They must flow from alignment between your mind. Your thoughts must reflect truth, not illusion. Heart. Your emotions must be anchored in faith, not fear. Mouth. Your speech must be deliberate and intentional. When all three align, your words move with authority. They become like arrows shot straight to the spiritual realm, hitting the target with precision. Jesus never spoke in haste. Every word was measured, every phrase intentional. He knew that even a careless phrase can release unwanted energy, transforming negative speech into divine declarations. Consider the common phrases people use unconsciously. "I can't do this" transforms into "I am equipped with God's wisdom and strength to overcome this." "I'm stuck" transforms into "I am moving forward by the Spirit's guidance." "I always fail" transforms into "I am victorious in Christ." Every setback is a setup for a miracle. These changes may seem small, but in the spiritual realm, they reprogram the environment around you. The mechanics of faith-filled speech. When you speak words rooted in faith, heaven listens. Every word becomes a spiritual instruction. The Spirit moves. God's presence manifests to bring alignment. The world shifts. Circumstances begin to respond to the frequency of your declarations. Jesus taught this principle repeatedly. He never doubted the power of his speech. He never spoke defeat. Even when everything looked impossible, his words commanded creation to respond. Faith is not what you feel. It is what you declare when everything seems contrary. Understanding decrees and declarations. There's a difference between praying for something and decreeing it into existence. Prayer is aligning your heart with God's will. Decree is verbalizing God's will over your circumstances. Jesus did both. He prayed, but he also spoke authority. He did not ask the storm to calm. He commanded it. He did not plead for the blind to see. He told them to see. Your words can carry the same authority when rooted in truth and faith. Practical steps to activate your words. To harness the power of your words, guard your speech. Be aware of what you are speaking daily. Speak with purpose. Only declare what aligns with God's promises. Speak with faith. Believe in what you say. Faith energizes your words. Speak consistently. Daily declarations compound spiritual impact. Start each day intentionally. Declare life over your family. My family is protected, blessed, and aligned with God's purpose. Declare hope over your work. My work prospers. Every effort produces fruit. Declare health over your body. My body is strong, restored, and functioning according to God's design. Declare faith over your spirit. I walk in courage, love, and divine wisdom. Each statement becomes a spiritual blueprint. The invisible realm begins to align with what you declare. The spiritual consequences of words. Neglecting the power of your words can have long-lasting effects. Words of complaint attract stagnation. Words of doubt invite delay. Words of fear solidify obstacles. But the good news is, when you choose words of faith, hope, and love, you realign with God's original plan. Your words become instruments of healing restoration, breakthrough manifestation. Jesus modeled this perfectly. Even when others spoke curses or disbelief over him, his words held authority. He never allowed external negativity to dictate his declarations. The role of gratitude. In speech, gratitude amplifies the spiritual effect of your words. When you speak with thanksgiving, faith is strengthened. Your words carry higher frequency. The spiritual realm responds faster. Try this today. Verbalize gratitude for situations that seem impossible. By doing so, you are speaking faith into existence. Thank you, Lord, for the doors you're opening that I cannot yet see. Your words influence your environment. Have you noticed how a single word can change the atmosphere in a room? I forgive you can release tension and resentment. Thank you can lighten moods and elevate energy. I believe in you can restore confidence and courage. This is not coincidence. Words affect vibrations. They carry energy that transforms environments. Your life can be reshaped when you consciously speak life. Now that you understand the weight your words carry, it's time to release them intentionally. Every phrase, every sentence you utter can either align you with God's purpose or anchor you in limitation. The principle of alignment. Alignment is the secret behind all effective declarations. You cannot decree something you do not believe. The mind, heart, and mouth must operate in unison. Mind, meditate on God's truth. Feed your thoughts with Scripture. Heart, let your emotions resonate with faith, not fear. Mouth, speak deliberately and with conviction. When these three converge, your words carry authority over circumstances, over challenges, and over spiritual obstacles. Jesus never spoke words disconnected from the truth. Every statement he made reflected heavenly alignment. He didn't just describe reality, he recreated it. The world sees limitation. Jesus sees potential. The world sees scarcity. Jesus sees abundance. The world sees chaos. Jesus sees order. And this is what he wants you to learn. Your words do not just describe your life. They shape it, breaking the cycle of negative speech. Many people are trapped in cycles of defeat simply because they repeat negative statements unconsciously. Consider phrases like, "Nothing works for me," "I always fail," "I'm not enough." These are not harmless thoughts. They are spiritual decrees that the universe obeys. But here's the breakthrough. You can reverse it. By declaring the truth, hope, and faith, you reprogram the invisible world. Try this. Instead of saying, "I can't," say, "I am growing and equipped to overcome." Instead of saying, "I am tired," say, "I am strengthened by God's Spirit for every challenge." Instead of saying, "This is impossible," say, "With God, all things are possible, and I walk in His power." These simple shifts in language redirect energy and initiate transformation. Words as tools of spiritual warfare. Your speech is your primary weapon in spiritual warfare. The Bible repeatedly reminds us the tongue has the power of life and death. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Every time you speak fear, doubt, or negativity, you give the enemy permission to act. Every time you speak faith, love, or hope, you release God's power to intervene. Jesus demonstrated this perfectly. He did not negotiate with disease or death. He commanded it. When He spoke, demons fled, storms ceased, and the blind received sight. His words were spiritual instruments of authority. Your words can have the same power when rooted in truth, spoken with faith, consistently released. The role of silence. Not every moment requires speech. Silence, when used wisely, is equally powerful. Jesus often used silence strategically. Before Pilate, He remained quiet. During mockery, He did not retaliate. On the cross, He spoke only essential truth. Silence is an active spiritual tool. It communicates faith, restraint, and authority. It allows the Spirit to move without interference from negative chatter. Rewriting your personal vocabulary. To change your life, start by examining your everyday language. Ask yourself, what am I saying about myself? What am I saying about my family? What am I saying about my work, finances, or health? Replace old negative phrases with faith-filled declarations. Here are some examples. Negative transformative declaration: I can't. I am learning and growing in God's strength. Nothing works for me. Everything is cooperating for my good. I am stuck. I am moving forward in alignment with God's plan. I am weak. I am strong and empowered by the Spirit. I am alone. God's presence surrounds me always. Even subtle changes have immense spiritual impact. Every word is a seed that will bear fruit in your life, your family, and your community. Daily spiritual practice. To truly harness the power of your words, you need a daily routine. Here's a simple structure. Morning declaration. Speak life over your day before it begins. Midday, reflection. Pause. Review what you've spoken and realign. Evening, gratitude. Thank God for the seeds you planted and their unfolding results. By repeating this practice, you begin to dominate the spiritual landscape of your life. You shift from being reactive to being proactive, speaking life over. Others' words are not only for personal transformation, they are for blessing others. Speak faith, hope, and encouragement to your children, your spouse or family, friends, co-workers, and neighbors. Simple statements like, I believe in you. You are capable and loved. God is opening doors for you. Can change someone's entire trajectory. Your words are portals of heaven that touch lives you may never fully see. The power of consistency. Powerful words produce results, but only when consistently spoken. Repetition in faith does not become monotonous. It builds momentum. Every spoken decree compounds the effect in the spiritual realm. Repetition reinforces belief. Belief energizes action, manifests reality. Jesus consistently modeled this principle. He spoke truth into every circumstance regardless of opposition, disbelief, or despair around him. Guarding your words. Equally important is what you do not say. Words carelessly spoken or spoken in anger can release destructive energy. Consider complaints about work or relationships. Words of doubt when others rely on your faith, sarcasm, or criticism. These may seem minor, but they program the spiritual environment for lack, fear, or failure. Choose restraint when needed. and only release words that reflect truth, faith, and love. As we come to the end of this time together, I want you to pause for a moment and reflect on everything we've uncovered today. The words you speak are not just sounds. They are spiritual seeds, invisible yet powerful forces that shape your reality, influence those around you, and align your life with God's purpose. You have the authority to speak life, to declare hope, and to release faith into every situation. You've seen how Jesus modeled this perfectly. Every word he spoke carried purpose. Every phrase created movement, and every declaration aligned with heaven's will. And the good news is this: the same power is available to you. From this moment forward, begin to guard your tongue. Watch your thoughts, control your speech, and deliberately speak what you want to see manifest. Replace fear with faith, doubt with trust, and complaints with declarations of God's promises. Remember, your mouth is the steering wheel of your life, and every word is a direction you give to a spiritual realm. If you are serious about stepping into this level of spiritual authority, start small, but start today. Speak blessings over yourself, over your family, over your work, and over your dreams. And do not underestimate the power of consistency. Daily declarations, prayers of faith, and words of gratitude compound in ways you cannot see immediately. But heaven responds. I want to leave you with this challenge. Choose one area of your life where you've been speaking defeat and begin today to declare victory instead. Speak life where there was despair. Speak hope where there was fear, and speak faith where there was doubt. Allow your words to be your instrument of transformation. Before we close, I invite you to take a step further and join our faith community here on this channel. Click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and become part of a growing family devoted to deepening our understanding of God's Word and activating His power in our daily lives. Each video here is designed to equip you, strengthen your faith, and inspire your voice to echo the authority of heaven. By subscribing, you won't miss any of our future devotionals, where we will explore how to activate your spiritual gifts, declare God's promises, and walk in unstoppable faith. Together, we will learn how to speak with purpose, pray with power, and live a life that reflects the love and authority of Jesus Christ. So take a moment now, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and leave a comment declaring, I consecrate my words to God. Let's build a community of believers who understand that words have power, and that by speaking life, we can transform ourselves and the world around us. Remember, your words are sacred. Speak with intention, speak with faith, and watch as heaven responds. God has given you a voice that carries authority, and when you align it with His Spirit, there is nothing you cannot overcome. Thank you for staying until the end. Go forward now with renewed faith, speak life boldly, and let your voice be a channel of miracles, blessings, and transformation. Subscribe now, and let's continue this journey together.